In this video, I'll show you one of the IDEs to learn Python. So during making videos, different videos on ethical hacking, at some point I realized that we also need to have some experience of programming so that we can implement some of the things which are needed. For example, we can automate some of the things required in ethical hacking, and for that we should have some programming skills, and for that Python is very strong programming language. And for any programming language we need some IDE. So IDE stands for integrated development environment. So to use that IDE, one of the ways is that we need to download relevant softwares on our own computers. We call it local IDE or desktop IDE. And second option is that we don't need to install anything. We can use an online IDE. So Replit is one of the online IDE, that is browser-based IDE. Just we need to go to their respective website, and then in that case we don't need to install. So that will be only available online. So here it says that you can see this is replit.com. This is the website there. And if we click on the features and if you click on IDE, so when we click on IDE, we can see different features of this Replit. It says that there is no downloads, no configs, no setups. So in your browser, so Replit runs fully in your browser, so you can get started coding in seconds. So it means just you have to use this browser, and then this is not dependent on any operating system or any device. So use Replit on Mac operating system, Windows, Linux, or any other operating system you can use it. So if you have experience like in some of the programming languages, for IDE you need to download the relevant software, and that relevant software needs some space, and some like sometimes it may create some problems. So it may have any problem. It may have, problem in that local ID. So for that, means for at the initial stage, I think this will be very much useful to use the online or the browser-based IDE. So Replit is the one IDE which we can use to learn different programming languages, but we'll be focusing to learn Python, let's say. And now to use it, we need to create an account, and for that we just have to click on this sign up. And if you already have an account, then just we need to click on login here. So let's say I don't have an account at the moment, so for that we just have to click on sign. And on this page you can see we can actually, if you already have an account, we can give the username and email address and the password. And if you don't have an account, then maybe you can continue with Google, continue with GitHub, or you can continue with Facebook as well. For me, let's say I'm going to continue with my Google account or the Gmail account. So I just press there, and when I press there, you can see it shows me my account, which I have just simply created for demonstrating this lab. So I just click on my email address here, and when I click there, you can see this is the first page which appears here. So you can see here, this is Replit onboarding familiarity. It says that whether you have, how familiar are you with programming. So maybe not at all, maybe beginner, intermediate, or expert. So maybe we say skip this, and then we just maybe click here, want to start with a coding tutorial here. So yes, let's go. Or maybe you can say maybe skip it. And now after this, you can see we have these different options of what's new here. So in Replit it says what is new. So they have actually introduced some custom themes, that beautiful custom themes. If you like it, they can use it. And then you click next, you can see this will be the window which will look like. So you can see when you are coding in some programming language, these different color will be very much helpful for learning that, specifically like indentation, that's very much important Python. And this colors different shows the keywords, and this will be very much helpful. And then yes, you can see other export other options here. I'm going to close this. So close here, and then we have, you can see this is maybe GD Hack 1 is my name here, which has been selected for me. And now we have the actual interface of Replit. And now when Replit we are here, you can see at get started, we, if you want to learn, then it may have different tutorials which we can explore. And then if you want to share our code, like our program, if you want to share that program with maybe our friends working anywhere, any other place, we can share with them. So that's also collaboration as well. And then code, if you want to create our first REPL, so REPL is kind of a project if you want to create this one. So we can click there, and then these are the options from where we can create those REPL. And now on the left side, you can see here we have these three lines. If you click there, then we can hide those, that bar, and then we can bring it back. And now you can see we have actually here this option from where we can actually create our first REPL or the first project. So for that we can click there, or we can also use this plus sign from here on the right hand side as well. Let's say we are going to use this one, so I click create. And when we create, says create a REPL, so it means you are creating your first project. And for that project, what programming language you want to use. Let's say here we have Python, Node.js, C, and C++, Java. There are many multiple language. You can see this is a rich IDE which can be used with multiple programming languages. But for us, let's say we are using this Python. We click on Python, and then this is the name for our project. So let's say we are giving it a name like any name, like say newbie project, and then we just click on create REPL. So when we click there, it should show us the workspace. So workspace is where you create your projects on Replit, and these are called REPLs. So, and then we can just click next, and next it maybe give you further information or maybe further help. But at the moment, what screen is shown in front of you, that is here, that is divided in three parts. And then of course you can see these all code editor, and all these things will be very much helpful. You can click next, and you can explore it further. I just want to introduce some brief things here. So now this screen is divided in three portions. First portion, you can see this is a file. So this file actually is known as file tree or file explorer, where we have the information about the files in our project. So our project may have multiple files, and those all tree, a files tree will be shown here. And then in the second portion, you can see we have the different tools, like tools for documentation, tools for chat, threads, and then maybe we have the tools for shell, and then databases, and then we also have, let's say, some settings which will be explored later. And then the middle portion is for the editor, where we will be writing our code, the programming lines or the programming statements we'll be writing here. And when we execute or when we run our program, then the results will be shown on the right hand side. This is the black screen here. So we have this console, we also have shell. So the console, we can see the output of our program. And in addition to that, if you want to invite someone, let's say we want to invite some of our friends or some organizations so that they can also contribute to our code or contribute to our project, then we can invite them by using their username, or we can invite them by email. So in that case, you'll see that both of you, you and your partner, they will be working on the same project, and you can see them working like here. And now let's say in this one, we can also, like, there's a simple option that these are different tools. We can use these different tools like debugger tool and git and packages. So these are really rich resources are there which we can use. And maybe if we want that this our console should be shown here, then we can simply go to settings, a simple setting here. And then I want to say that this layout should not be side by side, but this layout should be stacked. So that is, mostly liked by most of us. So now you can see this is the console where we can see our output, and this is the text editor, and here we can write our program. And maybe this last thing will be like, if we are going to write a message, which will, in most of the programming languages, when we start learning, we start our programming skills by printing a line, printing hello world. So for that, in Python, we can use this print statement, and then we can say hello world, and that's it. So this is the statement which we want to print out, and then we just have to click on this print, oh sorry, click on this run or control enter. So we click run, and the output you can see here. We can see the output here in this console port here. So that's it. That's the brief introduction about Replit, an online IDE or browser-based IDE which we can use without any hassle of installation or anything else. And then yes, of course, we can use this as well directly as well here. You can see just like we have the in real IDE. So that's it, and hopefully this will be helpful for some of you who are just starting learning Python programming. So and maybe we will be using yes this IDE to create some scripts for automating some of the things in ethical hacking. So thank you very much. Hope to see you in some other video.